All right, today we are diving into Selma Lagerlöf's incredible story, The Rattrap. And really, it's a tale that starts from a pretty dark and cynical place, but ends up with this unforgettable message about the power of just simple human connection.
So the entire story really pivots on this one single idea. It's a powerful and, frankly, a deeply cynical philosophy that pretty much defines our main character's journey from beginning to end.
You see, this is the worldview of our protagonist, a poor peddler. He looks around and sees all the joys the world offers, things like money, a good meal, a warm place to sleep, and he doesn't see them as joys. Nope, he sees them as bait. It's just like cheese for a rat, you know? The second you reach for it, the trap of misery just snaps shut on you.
So who is this guy who came up with such a bleak idea? Let's take a closer look at the kind of life that would shape this unique philosophy.
Well, his life is just one of deep isolation and poverty. I mean, he wanders completely alone, barely scraping by to survive. And this tough existence, it's not just his day-to-day reality. It becomes the lens through which he sees every single person. And oddly enough, the thought that everyone else is trapped too, not just him, actually brings him a little bit of comfort.
Now, it's one thing to have a theory about how the world works, right? But it's something else entirely when that theory gets tested in real life, especially when you become the test subject.
So on his journey, the peddler bumps into something he almost never sees, just pure, simple kindness. An old crofter welcomes him in, and not just with a roof over his head, but he shares his food, his company. It's this tiny moment of real warmth in a life that's been defined by coldness.
So the crofter, just happy to have someone to talk to, proudly shows the peddler his savings, 30 kroner. And just like that, the bait is on the table. The very next morning, the peddler, totally forgetting his own philosophy, steals the money and runs into the forest. And then, snap, the trap springs shut. He gets completely lost, just walking in circles, a prisoner in his own escape plan.
And in that moment of pure panic, it hits him. His own cynical philosophy comes crashing down on him. That abstract idea he used to judge the whole world, it's now his own terrifying personal reality. He is the rat, and he just took the bait.
Just when it seems like all is lost, on Christmas Eve, of all nights, a chance for rescue just appears out of nowhere. But this whole chance for salvation, it's built on a simple mistake.
He's exhausted, and he stumbles upon this huge iron mill. The owner, the ironmaster, spots him near the furnace and gets it in his head that he's an old army buddy, Captain von Stahl. Seeing his ragged condition, the ironmaster insists he come home with him for Christmas.
The peddler, of course, is terrified of being found out, so he refuses. But then the ironmaster's daughter, Edla, shows up, and her kindness is different. It's not pushy, it's gentle, it's compassionate, and for some reason, her genuine warmth makes him feel safe, and he agrees to go, even though he's taking this huge, huge risk.
The next morning, he's all cleaned up, dressed in nice clothes, and he walks into the daylight. And the truth is immediately obvious. In this moment right here, this is the absolute core of the entire story. The reactions could not be more different. The Ironmaster is furious. He feels totally tricked and starts threatening to call the police. But his daughter, Edla, she sees something else. She looks right past the lie and doesn't see a criminal, but a scared, cornered human being.
She actually tells her father that since they invited the stranger into their home for Christmas, they should honor that. They should give him just one day of peace. And this act of unconditional compassion, offered even after she knows the truth, is something the peddler has never, ever experienced before. It just completely stuns him.
So, the peddler leaves the next morning without saying a word. Later that day, Edla and her father hear that a local crofter was robbed by a rat trap seller. They immediately rush home, fearing the absolute worst. But instead of finding their silverware gone, Edla discovers a small package that was left for her. And inside is the answer to whether her act of compassion was a foolish mistake or a quiet little miracle. The very first thing inside is the stolen money. The 30 kroner are there, with a note asking her to please return them to the old crofter. It's a clear act of repentance. But there's more. There's a letter, and in it he explains that her kindness gave him the power to finally see himself differently. He says because she treated him like a captain, she gave him the strength to actually become one and to finally escape the world's rat trap for good. And this is the crucial part. He signs the letter with the name of the honorable man she believed him to be. So you see, this isn't just about returning the money, it's about him stepping into a brand new identity, one that was forged by the dignity that she offered him.
And this just illustrates the story's core message so beautifully. The world's rat trap, it's real, but it's not inescapable. A single act of genuine kindness, of treating someone with basic respect, can actually be the key that opens the trap and allows a person to truly change.
So the story leaves us with this really powerful final question. It suggests that the real power to change a life, it doesn't lie in some grand system or philosophy, but in the simple, dignified kindness that we choose to show to one another.